sequence that's really going to focus on opening up through the upper body today. So really stretching and working through the chest, the shoulders, as well as the upper back. This sequence can be used in complement to any one of your daily workouts. It's really upper body focused or as a rest day recovery stretch. So I invite you to have a band available, or a blanket will work, a towel, anything that you can really grab onto. And maybe put on your favorite chill playlist and let's get to stretching. So we'll come to a comfortable seat. So whatever that means for you. I just prefer cross-legged. You can have your legs stretch out long. You can maybe be in the kneeling position. So really whatever is more comfortable for you. And we'll just start our practice here by sitting up nice and tall, really pulling the abdominals in, really lifting the chest here. We'll bring our hands by our sides. We'll just take some gentle shoulder rolls to the back. Nice fluid movements here. Don't really have to overthink it. As we move through these shoulder rolls here, just focusing on the movement of the shoulder blades at first, the muscles that are used to pull them together. Good. Then moving, focusing on the movement of the shoulders. Good. Just kind of noticing how they're all acting together. Just move the upper body. Good, and we'll roll our shoulder blades forward here. This movement might be a little bit more awkward for you, especially if you're like me, you kind of have tight shoulders. It's a little more difficult. Just really noticing the shoulder blades pulling apart as you bring the shoulders forward. Just noticing the connection of movement here. Good, and we'll come back through center. We'll reach the arms up high, and on the exhale, we'll plant the left hand. Right arm reaches up and overhead, getting a nice side body stretch here. Really pushing in through that left hand. Good. Really stretching through that serratus anterior here on the right. Really important muscle group for any type of overhead movement. Really important in our push-ups. Good, and on the inhale, we'll reach the arms high. On the exhale, right hand plants, left arm reaches up and overhead, side body stretch here. Good. Really opening up here. A lot of times this side body muscle, the serratus anterior, can get really tight if we sit or if we're really rounding in the shoulder blades. So we want to exaggerate the movement, open up here. Good. Few breaths. Good, and we'll come back through center, reach the arms high. On the exhale, we'll plant the hands behind us, fingertips facing away from our body. And we'll lift up through the chest here, dropping the head and the neck back. Good. Maybe you play with walking your hands back a little bit farther, still grounding into the bottom here, really using that to push our chest up. Good. Relaxing the head and the neck back. Maybe tent your fingertips a little bit more to kind of stretch through the biceps here. Good. Few more breaths. Good, and we'll release that down. We'll plant our hands in front of us and we'll roll over our knees, coming into a tabletop position here. So we'll have our shoulders over wrists, hips over our knees here. We'll pull the belly in, really engage the abdominal muscles here. And we'll work on a yoga version of a scapula push up here. So really just focusing on just moving the muscles surrounding the shoulder blades here. So keeping the abdominals tight. On the inhale, we'll squeeze the shoulder blades together. It's just such a tiny movement here. You might not even really notice much happening, but really feeling that squeeze in the shoulder blades here. On the exhale, we'll push the shoulder blades far apart. Again, tiny, tiny movement here. Good, activating all those muscles around the shoulder blades, the serratus anterior again. Good. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Squeeze, squeeze, hold. Exhale, pushing them apart, really protracting or reaching the shoulder blades apart from each other. Good, squeeze them together. Exhale, pull them apart. Good, squeeze them together. Exhale, push them apart. Try not to move that lower body too much. Inhale, squeeze them together. This is really great to help strengthen those muscles, stabilize the shoulder joint. Exhale, push the shoulder blades away. Good, one more. Inhale, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, push them away. Good, we'll come back through a neutral spine. We'll just take a cat-cow here just to stretch that out. So on the inhale, we'll drop the belly, lift the gaze, really release that out. Good. Exhale, push the floor away, round the head and the neck, pull the navel in. Maybe rock forward and backwards just to kind of stretch out those muscles we just worked. Good. And we'll come back to a neutral spine. We'll slowly walk our hands forward, keeping our hips high here. We're going to come into puppy pose here. Slowly sink the chest and the head towards the mat. Nice and slow. Maybe moving a little fluidly up and down. Good. And finally coming to stillness. Maybe walking those hands out a little bit if your chest is a little tight here. Also getting a little bit of a stretch to the lats here. Breathing here. Two more breaths. Good, and we'll slowly come up. We'll roll onto our bellies here. Just coming in a prone position on our mat here. We'll stretch our right arm out long. Left arm stays bent by our side, and we'll come onto the right cheek. We'll lift our left leg up and reach it up and over towards the right. Getting a little bit more into the chest here. Good, few breaths here. Maybe you play with the placement of that left hand, bringing it closer to you. Maybe you reach it up and over, deepening that chest stretch here. Really opening up towards the ceiling. Good, few breaths here. Good, and we'll come back through center. We'll take that on the other side. Stretch the left arm long. Right arm bends in by your side. We'll reach the right leg up and over. Stretching through the chest here. Again, maybe playing with the placement of that right hand. Maybe bringing it closer to you. Maybe wrapping it behind you. Taking a few deep breaths here. Opening up towards the ceiling. Good, and we'll come back through center. We'll stay on our bellies here. I'll just turn so that you can see me a little bit better here. We're just going to be working on a quick exercise to strengthen the muscles around the rotator cuff, which is a huge muscle group that's really prone to injury. So we just want to make sure we strengthen those muscles. So we're still on our bellies here. We'll stretch our arms out long in front of us. And we'll just lift our chest up off the ground, lift our arms up off the ground too. So almost like a Superman position, but we're leaving the legs planted. So we'll come up, arms are straight. We'll open them up out to a Y position. We'll squeeze the shoulder blades and externally rotate the shoulders here, almost like a lat pull down, coming into a W here. Good, we'll come back through center I. We'll do this a few times. Open up Y. Good, squeeze W. Back to I. Open up Y. Squeeze W. Good, coming through I. It's hard to talk and do at the same time. Open up Y. Squeeze W. Good. Back through I. Open up Y. Squeeze W. Two more. Through center I. Open up Y. Squeeze W. One more. Through center I. Open up Y. Squeeze W. Good. We'll release it down. We'll plant our hands. Lift up to a high plank. lift our hips and come into a downward facing dog here. So just releasing that out, stretching through the whole back of the body here. A few deep breaths here. Good, and we'll drop our knees to the mat. We'll come into a kneeling position here. If kneeling is really uncomfortable for your knees, you can always come to a cross-legged position or legs out long in front of you, whatever's more comfortable. We'll grab our band here. So we'll place our hands about a little bit wider than shoulder width distance here. You might have to play with the placement depending on how tight your chest feels today. And we'll just bring the band in front of us, and on the inhale, we'll lift it up and overhead, reaching it behind us on the exhale. Good, we'll come back up, come through the front, and we'll just take this fluid movement a few times. I invite you to move at your own pace here. Kind of decide how fast or slow you'd like to move. Maybe you hold in a spot that's a little tight or sore. Good. And we'll just take 3 more rounds here, just moving at your own pace. Really opening up through the chest and the shoulders here. Good, just really fluid movements to increase our range of motion, increase our mobility. Good. Good, and we'll move on to our next pose here. So in yoga, they call this cow face pose. It's really great for opening up the whole front side of the body, the triceps, the shoulders, really everything. So we'll place the band in the right hand, and I'll turn around just so you can kind of get a better view here. So we'll reach the right arm up and overhead, almost like you were going to do a tricep stretch here. We'll take our left hand and we'll bring it around behind us, grabbing the band, palm facing away from us. And we'll sit up nice and tall here. Slowly lean the head back in towards the right arm, really making sure everything is pulled in through center. So option is stay here wherever you grab the band, or maybe play with walking it towards the right hand. Maybe you clasp both hands together. Really whatever feels good for you today. Making sure to keep everything pulled in. Sitting up nice and tall. Breathing here for another 3, 2, and 1. We'll release it out. Just a few shoulder rolls here to shake it out. And we'll take the band into the left hand this time. And we'll reach it up and overhead. Right arm now reaches back to grab that band. Again, pulling that left arm into the body, keeping everything in. Breathing here again, maybe you walk that band up towards that left hand a little bit. This is my tighter side, so this is where I'm going to stay. Again, pressing that head into that left arm. And we'll breathe here for another 3, 2, and 1. Release it out. Good. Take some shoulder rolls. Just relax that out. Good. And on the inhale, we'll reach the arms high. Exhale, we'll bring them by our side. Good. 2 more. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, bring them by your side. Good. 1 more. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, bring them by your side. Good. We'll bring our hands to heart center. That completes our yoga sequence for the upper body. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.